Just the keyboard here. And here we go. How big do you need this text here? How big enough to read?
That's good. Ohayou gozaimasu. Hi, Kantar. Welcome back. Kantar?
Regular supporter.
Yes.
Where's it's out of scroll, but the best it's in the bottom there. If you
Okay. 2 fingers?
2 fingers up.
I've never used that before. Hello. I'm back from traveling, so I'm going to be sitting here while Dave is carving.
Rained out, were you?
Up there. Dave is carving. Kantar. Got it. So the typhoon passed, right?
Tell some lies. Tell them how we were just struggling and barely underwater. And remember, in the news, this has been mega typhoon hits Japan. Yeah, my mother's writing, "Are you going to survive?"
Yeah.
So tell some lies. Tell some lies.
I fell asleep last night and heard like a little bit of like window panes going. And then in the morning I woke up and there's no more rain and it's breezy. And that's it. I guess it's over.
Tell them the story. There's water up to the 2nd floor here outside the back window. I mean, come on. People are waiting for a story.
There's no story. It broke my $5 Conveni umbrella. The typhoon took my umbrella. I went to open the umbrella and the wind just went. And it was funny because about 3 or 4 different Japanese people saw it happen. I was a little bit embarrassed. I think that the typhoon was a little bit worse down south, right?
I haven't seen the news. I'm talking about the TV here, so I don't have.
I don't know. I read the news and there were a couple fatalities.
Really? So you have to be careful how much we joke about it.
Right, but up here in Tokyo, it wasn't that bad. Dovia says that's not a normal block. Dave just finished some driftwood from the window. Reach out and grab it. Plenty of lumber. Enter Coctopus says, "Are you going to sketch quote a Canadian at work?" I could do that. So I am actually.
Where will you find one?
I'm sketching sketch Tochu. So I'm.
Is that from where you were last weekend?
Yeah. So here's a. Gosh, you can't really see, but here's a little sketch I'm working on of. A scene from Tsumago and Magome. This one's Tsumago, Juku. Anyway, so I'm sketching while Dave is doing the
There's
real
people
work.
who don't know what you're talking about. There's old post towns. This is up on the old Kisokaido,
right.
One of the roads.
Yeah, so back in Japan in the Edo period, even before probably, but much more formalized in the Edo period, there were 5 main roads that ran along, from basically along Honshu, right, Dave? The center island, the main island. And the one that went up in the Japanese Alps is called the Nakasendo. And I went up there for a couple days. The Nakasendo runs still to this day, runs through maybe 10 or so, resting towns or something. It's like the equivalent of like a rest stop on the edge of an interstate now, but much more picturesque, obviously. And they've maintained a bunch of old buildings and everything's from pre-war, because the Americans didn't bomb the deep mountains, so everything's still there, and they preserved it and turned it into a historical tourist attraction. It's really nice. It's really pretty.
Google, you do hiking the Nakasendo would bring up links if anybody's.
Oh yeah. Here, I'll put it in.
No, they'll do it. Somebody in the chat will do it.
Well, I could just put it in there. If anybody's interested in where I went, you can look up Nakasendo.
Or hiking.
And also the Kiso Valley. The Nakasendo is the name of the road. The Kiso Valley is the name of the valley.
And you said what? Half the people you met were British walkers, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of British people out there, and Chinese people. The narrator 9000. Yes, this is Jed. Hi, I'm Jed.
Did you get some good food while you're up there?
I did. I had some miso that was incredible. So I'm not a miso connoisseur.
Really?
But no. I mean all I know is like, miso shiru, and I knew there was like red miso and yellow miso, right? Or white miso, I mean. Yeah, I need a name tag. I am Jed. But I stayed at a ryokan, which is like a traditional old Japanese inn. And Kantar. That's kani miso, which is crab innards, and I've had that. I've had kani miso before, which is not my favorite. Have you ever had kani miso?
Of course, that trip I did for an HK up to the onsen there on the Japan Sea coast.
It's not my jam.
Onsen.
Kani miso is not my jam.
It isn't mine either, but when there's a HD camera on your face and you're picking it up, you know exactly what you're supposed to say. Oishii.
Well, one time when I was living in Japan, a guy took me out to sushi, and I said, "Oh, can I have some crab?" And I didn't realize it meant that you just had to buy the whole crab, and it ended up costing him like $100 for that crab.
Ouch.
I felt so bad, and then because he took the whole crab and cut it and butchered it basically. I mean, he started pulling it apart for all these different pieces of sushi that you can get out of this crab. Then when it came to time to slice the thing down the middle and scoop out the brains from the middle carapace, he put it on the sushi almost kind of like the salmon roe. It was like that, where they wrap it in nori and then they place it on top of the rice. And it was among the worst things I've ever eaten. Just because I'm not used to it. I don't think I was trained to have the palate. It was rough. I'm sure that people who are trained can really enjoy it.
But you were staying where? You stayed at what, local inns?
Okay, yeah. So I stayed. I stayed at this inn in Sumago Station. Sumago. Hi, dear ASMR. Oh no, we got ASMR people here who are gonna have to listen to me and not you.
That's your voice.
Okay, sorry. I do not trigger ASMR. Dave does, but I'm here. I'm Jed. I'm Dave's business partner and creative ally, I guess. Anyway, I stayed at this ryokan that was in the movie Zatoichi. And, for like a few seconds while he walks by it. Mm-hmm. But that was kind of cool. Yeah, the last one got not too many. Yeah, they got trout. There's some fabulous trout in the mountains. Really good, actually. There's a place in my town that does like a trout pate that's amazing, like smoked trout. It's really good.
A place in your town.
Yeah. Somebody said not a lot of fish in Utah.
Okay, sorry. I thought you were talking about up on the Kisokaido stuff.
Oh, sorry. Scrochum Zatoichi. I don't know which Zatoichi it was. I think it was a film, and it was. I don't know who filmed it. I just saw it. They had it posted up on the wall, so I don't know. Dear ASMR Ravi says, I started watching as ASMR, and now I've become a fan of woodblock printmaking. That's amazing.
We hear that a lot.
Last Known God says, I go skiing in Utah every year. I have family in Ogden. That's awesome. I don't ski. I live 15 minutes from Sundance, and I don't ski. It's because I draw all the time.
Is that your excuse?
It is my excuse. I mean, skiing is like, it's a whole day, My kids ski. This is, what's really cool is, at school in Utah, the kids go to, on Fridays, at 2, I think at like 2 o'clock, they let the kids out early. They put them in a bus, and they take them skiing for like 3 or 4 hours, and then they bring them home for dinner.
What age group are you talking about?
My daughter's 8, and she's learning how to ski, and it's good because I can't teach her. So she's becoming like true mountain people. I'm not mountain people. I don't know how to ski. So, it's cool. I think that's kind of neat. Okay, the narrator 9000. Judge, you're doing great. Don't worry about ASMR triggers. Okay, cool. So I don't need to get out the crystal goblets or anything like that?
this drawing and stuff that you've been doing up there, sketching these old buildings and things like this in mountains. What's the connection with the normal work you do, the ukiyo-e heroes and stuff like this? What's the...
I think the connection is a nostalgia for a past that I'm not actually connected to. I'm synthetically connected to. I really like old Japanese stuff. I gravitate to it. Even though I miss so much of the history because I can't read Japanese that well. So while I was hiking, I'll answer your question though. Yeah, so going and sketching Japanese stuff, it really, I don't know, just brings something out of me.
Oh, in the very first ukiyo-e Heroes Kickstarter we did 5 years ago, in the intro video to that, this is before Heroes got started, you showed in that intro video some watercolor drawings and stuff you'd done. There's like a little Japanese shrine and a grove of trees. So this is obviously an interest that goes back before anything like the ukiyo-e Heroes.
I just like wandering around Japan with a watercolor sketchbook. I love watercolor. I don't have a lot of time to do it right now because I do ukiyo-e, which is different. It's a different...
Is this 100% just for fun or for training, or is there some thought that maybe this might become something part of our job or our work or whatever? What ideas are percolating in your head there?
If it ends up being just for me, I'm satisfied. If it ends up being me growing to the point where I can do stuff like what was his name? The documentary we watched. Hasui did, where he just goes on site, sketches something, and makes it. That'd be cool too. But I think, that's a long road ahead of us.
Anything's possible though.
But, I mean, if we don't take the first step, then the long road never happens, right? So, in the future, I would like to be that guy who goes around Japan sketching stuff and comes back for Dave's studio to carve and print it. I think that'd be interesting.
Okay. Can we mention a couple of things that we were talking about the other day? That Hasui and those things were 20th century, early 20th century, exactly 100 years ago before now. And they pictured a sort of clean, pure, exotic Japan. No power lines, no cars, no stuff like that.
And even though back then there were plenty of cars and power lines,
and crap everywhere.
They were very much, they were putting on the blinders and selectively viewing a nostalgic Japan.
Now, is that an honest thing to do? Because I'm not criticizing you right now, but you've done on this sketch pad right now, you've sort of done a little bit.
Well, Hasui did.
So when you went to Tsumago, you didn't do this in Tokyo.
No, it's the Japan I choose to see instead of the Japan that is obviously like Menomaide, like right in front of me, right?
Okay, well, you know the question I'm going to ask next, and you and I have chatted about this a little bit sometimes personally. Is it possible to make attractive images of contemporary Japan? Attractive in the sense that people will feel that they are beautiful, and yet they still show something that might be dirty and mixed up.
Absolutely. Now, is it marketable? I mean, like, you and I are kind of, I mean, not to disparage the term, but we're kind of blue-collar, shopkeeping artists who are trying to, make things happen and move art around the world. So... Well,
so was Michelangelo. Had to work both ways. He had to satisfy his own creative impulses, but also the market, quote, whatever the Pope was who was commissioning it, had to be satisfied. So that's always been true.
So, I mean, we have to serve our Pope.
Okay, that's always been true.
So I wonder if, like, going around sketching, like, grimy contemporary Tokyo has a market.
Ask him.
Everybody, does sketching grimy contemporary Tokyo, does it have a market? Or
if we made them as beautiful objects.
Right, yeah. I mean, say if we showed, I'm always tempted to do a repetitive abstract scene of those bike parking bicycle parking lots outside the train station. It's like 2 acres of just bicycles, parked side to side. And I've always wanted to do just boom, 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 repeating bicycle parking lot with like maybe as a focal point one person like pulling their bike out or something like that, right? I think that'd be fun. The Last Known God makes the obvious statement, yes, everything is a maybe.
Thanks very much.
It's true, though.
Very helpful.
It's true. I mean, like, it all depends on how we pull it off, right? D Savage 94 says, yeah, one of the images I always remember of Japan for some reason is a cluster of power lines on a building corner. It's the artist's job to make the scene interesting, but if it doesn't click the creative bug, it may be frustrating. I've been there, Corey and Gummy. I've been there. We'd have to see it first. Yeah, right? Oh, Narrator 9000 said, I think you could do it in the style of 80s retro wave. I'd have to Google that.
Sounds like a musical theme. I don't understand.
Is retro wave like, I don't know. Well, the Narrator 9000, point me to like that aesthetic. Explain further, please. Okay, let's go back. We missed some comments here. Dear ASMR Rabbi, or AMSR Abby, this is the key block, correct? Will this be finished during the stream?
No. Next question.
It's a pretty detailed key block, and it's quite small, so Dave's gonna take his time on it.
Well, actually, we're getting there. I got the dog's,
Yeah.
a couple of dog's legs, dog's head, her face. No, it won't be finished. And then the clearing of all the outside. There's no way to be finished.
And you've already revealed what it's for, right?
Yeah, we talked about it. It's a New Year's design.
It's the New Year's design, and it's a little girl.
Drawn by you.
Yeah, I drew this one and sent it to Dave. It's a little girl at the kotatsu, at the the warmed up table.
Can you show it and can you get
Sure.
it so that
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it shows the light or whatever.
Oh, no, it looks good. Little girl. Oh wait, let me just a minute. Little girl at the kotatsu feeding noodles to her dog. You can't really see it. But you see it better.
Too dark. Okay.
It's too dark. And so this goes out. What's your policy on New Year's cards to everybody who ordered something?
Well, it's going to a bunch of different people. It's going first to all our normal like business associates and stuff like that, like a Christmas card would be to in the West. It's also going this year to the people on Patreon who have supported at what we call the Nenga level, the New Year card level.
Cool.
And then we send it also to high supporters.
High supporters.
Whatever.
Okay.
I don't know the word to use.
Yeah. So if anybody would like this Christmas card sent to them,
whatever.
Is it getting too late?
No. I mean, we're not promoting it as a thing.
Okay,
just whatever.
I'm saying this is how you get it. It's available through Patreon.
No.
Dave says no.
I don't want to sit here promoting that thing like that. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Inert Coctopus says.
What's that name?
Inert Coctopus. My intro to Dave was kind of by luck. My wife and I were wandering through Asakusa and I saw the Heroes banner outside the shop, which I recognized from reading articles about the original Kickstarter. It's crazy. Inert Coctopus, thank you for stopping by and learning about Dave.
Did he talk to me? Do I know who this is? Or,
it looks like so. Inert Coctopus, did you come in and talk to Dave then and meet him back then? PS Pen 88. Hi everyone, great to see you are alive, Jed. Haha. Yeah, it's good to be alive. My wife texted me and said, "Hey, you are going to get out of the mountains before the typhoon hits, right?" And I said yes. So here I am. I caught a train early and beat the typhoon.
Did you let her know?
Yeah, I texted her. She's cool. The Narrator 9000 could do with some Tibetan singing bowls to trigger some ASMR.
Ask Kawai-san upstairs. He's got those.
Does he have some?
He's got those Japanese temple bells.
The Narrator 9000 says, perhaps we all see the country that we want to see wherever we travel. That's true. That's absolutely true. Kontar says, I like this doi hanga print. I'm looking it up right now. Oh, that's a good one. Dave, I lost the window. Oh wait, no.
No. Oh, yeah. Okay. Excuse me a sec, gang. I don't know.
Is it still streaming?
Yeah, it's still streaming. You've just gone to the wrong monitor.
Okay, sorry. Okay, don't click links. Got it. I learned my lesson. Frackles says Retrowave is a YouTube channel. It's like Blade Runner, Ghost in the Shell, etc. Okay, I gotcha. Cool. Actually, yeah, we'll talk about that in a second then. Get the colors right. The Retrowave would love it. Pastel inks and oranges. It's mostly music and art that draws a nostalgia for the 80s aesthetics.
We're doing these views of Tokyo then, was it?
Yeah, synth-driven music, oversaturated VHS-style imagery, etc. Of course, no rush. I love to watch. I may definitely be ordering this. Promote away. No shame in that. Great job, Jed. In Art Octopus said, I did come in. It was about a year and a half ago. I met Doi-san and as well briefly.
Oh, I think that's when I was in Vancouver. My father was dying, so
Oh,
I was
okay.
over there for a while. So Sam and the gang was covering for me. So.
Oh, Doi-san accidentally charged Inert Octopus tax, and so you sent some chibi prints.
Really?
To account for the tax charge. He's got all 3 framed in his office.
So he must have been in the summer then, I think. I was over for my daughter's wedding. I was out of here for that in Canada, I think. I vaguely remember that story.
Got it. Oh, he talked to Dave and Doi-san. He talked to you.
Okay.
You were there. Mum Boy, have you heard of the city pop aesthetic? It draws heavily on 90s Japan. No, I will have to look at that.
What's that? City pop?
I did, so everybody asking for the, what was it? The retro wave thing. Dave and I did kick around an idea, because just like we were talking about earlier, how these early 1900s Japanese printmakers went around and selectively portrayed Japan as this pastoral, quaint, historical place, right? And they were obviously ignoring a lot of like motorbikes and cars and things and power lines and things like that. I thought it would be interesting to go and do the exact same thing, but just show like Tokyo in like 2050 or 2075 with a retro wave style, and just do depictions of streets and stuff with people just doing their thing in kind of a Blade Runner sort of a way. And I thought that would be a lot of fun, but we haven't gotten there yet, if we ever will. But I tossed that idea around a lot for a good couple of months, thinking like, how can we make this work? How can we make this work? But yeah, traditional, soft wood prints of a futuristic
Tokyo.
Cyberpunky, yeah, Tokyo would be fun. Night Dauntless, I'm a UK fan. I love your work, Dave, and I'm looking forward to the day I can buy some of your work.
Thank you, sir.
So keep making it.
I'll keep trying.
Okay. Also a UK fan, lucky enough to have bought one of your prints. I still need to get it framed and hang it. 1975 Drex. Thank you, 1975. Scrochum, the absolute pinnacle of the style is Akira. Agreed. And that does a really good job of making, grungy look beautiful. Honestly. Yeah, basically, imagine a bunch of, like, Akira style, like, Hanga wood prints. That'd be so cool. I don't think technically we're there to pull it off. Yeah, Rylock 99. Great idea, Jed. I have a canvas print of this sweet image that reminds me of what you're saying. Maybe you can take a look later. We will take a look at that. That's awesome. I should rewatch Akira. It's been a while. Always. Irish fan here. Looking forward to visiting in December, January when I'm in Japan. Awesome. Codename 3C. Very cool. You have Irish visitors coming.
We'll stand by.
Cool. I'm just Dave's chat reading page.
This morning. So. We should mention as an update on the next YouTube video. It's in the can now. It'll be edited today. Depends on how much we get bothered by visitors. Can I say that?
Man, it's a two-edged sword.
So it might be up tonight if all goes well. If there's not too much action in the shop, the next video will be up tonight. Interesting or not, I don't know. Jed watched me run it last night. He helped me with some technical background stuff.
Yeah, I was helping Dave. It's a good video. I think you did a good job. I was interested. A little background info. Dave shoots his videos in one take, which I cannot do. I absolutely cannot do that. I'm so bad in front of a camera. And Dave sits there and shoots a 30-minute video in one take. I was blown away. It was just... Yeah.
Okay, but you have to go off that. I screwed up a couple of times last night. I had to restart, right? Remember, first I forgot
But,
the
I mean,
lights, and then I
effectively, it was one take.
Not quite, but close.
Yeah. Scrochum, is Jed a lefty too? I am a lefty. Night Dauntless, is there a second YouTube channel for the live stream VODs or vids as I can't make VODs? Is it VODs? As
Video
I
on
can't.
demand, no.
Oh, okay. As I
Twitch,
can't make too many of these midnight live streams.
Twitch stores them for 2 weeks, so they're all on the Twitch channel for 2 weeks. Go to what's called the VOD page.
Okay, so Dave's Twitch videos are stored for 2 weeks, and then his YouTube channel is not video on demand or whatever.
It's a whole.
Well, okay, it's not live streaming.
No.
Yeah, sorry, YouTube is the video on demand. Dave doesn't live stream on YouTube. He does more like, what's the word?
Produced videos.
Produced videos, yeah. More curated, finished work. Instead of just, hanging out with him like in Twitch.
The Twitch stuff all goes automatically. The one we're done is within seconds of us closing off today, it will automatically be stored on our Twitch channel page for people to watch for at least 2 weeks.
Okay.
So nobody has to worry about sleeping in or being in the wrong time zone.
Okay, Codename 3C says, there's another point towards the genius badge, so... I don't know, Codename 3C, what are you referencing specifically?
Oh, you mean one take business.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, sorry. In my lack of genius, I forgot what we were even talking about. Like, what were we talking about?
That's the way threads go, isn't it?
Yeah.
Back and forth.
Yeah, no, Dave is minor genius. Minor genius.
Let's not start that again. If you're going to do it all the way.
Genius Chaku.
Enough already. If I'm so smart, where's my Mercedes or Rolls Royce parked outside?
It's a question of priorities. When have you seen somebody pop out of a Mercedes or a Rolls Royce and you think, that person looks like a genius? Not to make generalities, but when have you ever thought, oh, that person looks like a genius? Barker Art says, Jed, a famous artist told me once, quote, artists are either the shamans of a society or merely its decorators. End of quote. Curious about your thoughts on the role of art in society, especially as someone who's bridging eras. Ooh, that gets deep.
I'm going to keep quiet and listen to this.
The role of being a shaman versus being a decorator. First off, I have to preface my response by saying that I feel like personally I am probably one of society's decorators, and I'm okay with that. I don't feel prepared to offer enough sacrifice on the art god's altar to become an actual shaman of society. I don't think I am ready to go there. Just because I'm trying to have work-life balance. I've met some artists who they have paid the price, and I think that they are maybe reaping the rewards of having paid that price. But I also, as I watch them, I just think, I don't know if I want everything that comes with that. I have children, I have a wife, I already have emotional instabilities every once in a while because of just the creative cycle. So I'm already hard enough to deal with as it is sometimes, I think, for my family. So to go in and do that deeper, I think, is a little bit daunting, and I worry about what the repercussions could be for other people in my life. But I agree with you. I think that artists can change the way we think about things. I just heard a report on Ai Weiwei. He's making documentaries now about refugees. I heard about it on NPR. So he's gone from, political commentary to full-on filmmaker now. And he just, I don't know, that guy doesn't quit. So I think there are people out there with that drive, right?
Is it also a question perhaps of how much you yourself, if you're a happy person satisfied with life, it's sort of difficult to do social commentary. But if you yourself are frustrated and feel that things are not all they could be, then that's the way your life goes. And you seem to me to be a basically happy, stable guy with kids, and this is why your art reflects less aggressive themes.
Right,
Is that
yeah.
correct analysis or not? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, my art isn't like attacking, patriarchy or,
But my point being, it's because you yourself are basically happy with life, enjoying life, and feeling productive, and
I think so.
But I don't know if that's a good analysis or not.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wait, let me get into the comments really quick and then we'll continue. Okay, it's too big, Oni-chan. David Bull, comma, the most major minor genius. You're so major. The narrator 9000. To be fair, you have to have a high IQ to truly appreciate the nuances of a Japanese printmaking stream. Insert the rest of copy pasta here. Someone just said, codename 3C, now minor genius +1, play level up sound effect. That's kind of an 80s level up sound effect, but that's the kind that my voice can handle. Rylock99, I don't think I've ever seen a young shaman. Look out for young shaman. They always have ulterior motives.
I'll buy that. So, not enough life experience. Yes, I'll buy that. That's the problem, of course, in the contemporary art world. People in colleges and whatever learning how to do art and being expected to have things to say and be able to make social commentary and be able to make art that's cutting edge. And they're only 19 years old.
I think a certain degree of art. I think to a certain degree, art requires
life experience.
Experience, some suffering, some joy, some loss.
Yeah, experience, period.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, let's see. Barker Art, thanks for the candor, gentlemen. Good to hear your thoughts. Lambie says, yesterday Dave chatted about a picture he may want to turn into a woodblock print. He said he planned on transferring the image to his computer and ask him about it on the stream today.
Yes.
Good job, Lambie.
Okay, I forgot, but it's okay. We have someone to hold here and keep people going while I go and do that.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
Yes.
I'm here to juggle and keep everybody excited while Dave leaves.
Yep. No, give me 2 minutes. If the idea was something that I would like to do in the future when my life stables out, I would like to make a print of this sort of thing. Just whatever, I'll explain in a minute. You just keep them.
Cool, sounds good. All right, thank you, Lambie, for reminding Dave. Look at this, he's gone. Hey, hi, Higurashi Madness. Hello from Mexico, or hello to Mexico. Satharin, most contemporary art is bullish. Sorry. You are entitled to your opinion, Satharin. I also, a lot of modern art, I look at it and I think, I miss the craft. Because a lot of art, I like the craft of it, just the ability to paint or sculpt or draw. And I know that a lot of artists view that as trite. And, one of the worst insults you could give an artist is, your stuff looks nice. It looks, okay. It looks beautiful. Like, that's actually, in some circles, an insult, right? But I'm a sucker for craft. I respect craft. I respect the sacrifice it takes to get there. So, so yeah. I also am, even if contemporary art has, modern themes and stuff, that's cool. But I always want to see some craft, The last known god grabbed the chisels. What would he do? What would he do?
Don't you dare!
From the other room, he just said, "Don't you dare." Okay. Let's see here. Alright, Cool Hand Ukulele says, can you tell us about your art education, Jed? Finishing up undergrad now and looking at getting my MFA. So I studied animation. I studied animation with a focus on computer animation in college. I went to BYU, which is a Mormon college in Utah. Full disclosure, I am a Mormon, and I went to a Mormon college. So yeah, they have a really good animation program there, but I don't know. I did an internship at Sony Pictures Animation. I did an internship at Sony Pictures Animation when they were working on Hotel Transylvania, the first one, and I just thought, this life is pretty cool, but not necessarily what I want long term. And so that was the summer before my last year of university. So I went back to school for my last year, and I ended up actually studying children's book illustration very heavily. And I took a bunch of classes in children's book illustration, or children's book writing and illustrating, and got myself an agent in New York and did a bunch of children's books. And so if you get on Amazon and you Google Jed Henry children's books, you will find a bunch of children's books that I've worked on. 2 of them, 3 of them, 4 of them I've written, and a bunch of them I just illustrated. So, but what I really liked it about, Inert Coctopus says...
We'll finish what you're doing first.
Okay, sorry. What am I doing?
Explain what you were explaining. You didn't even mention your anime and stuff like that, and you don't like to talk about that?
No, I'm just a minute. I'm getting there.
Okay.
Animation crunch is always sounded rough. I can imagine it not being conducive to family. Yeah, there is always the animation crunch. Hi, Kawaii-san.
Coming from upstairs.
Yes.
Where's the bell? Where's the ping pong? Normally we hear ping pong.
Oh, right.
Kawaii-san comes in. Now he's come from upstairs.
Slept overnight. We had a sleepover. We told each other all of our secrets.
Because he has to work at 10 o'clock. We were worried the trains won't be running because of the typhoon, so he stayed here because of the...
Yeah.
No typhoons.
Did you hear it last night? So,
ずっと寝てるでしょ 僕も何も聞こえなくて
Was I the only one who was left to hold the fort here during that vicious storm last night? You guys both slept through it?
There was no vicious storm.
Didn't you hear it? You take a look out the front window and at the street outside. The bicycles are all thrown which way. The guy left his lanterns outside. They're all torn to shreds.
Oh, really?
The lanterns on the bar across the street.
I slept through it.
You guys slept through it all?
Slept through it.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. As you wish. I know some of the parties. I wrote to all. It's free. I wrote to all the party people today because some of them, the trains might not be running or whatever, and they're nearly all staying locally nearby. Like the 10 o'clock party. She says, "Okay, I'm staying at the hotel down the street, so I'll be there. Don't worry." So the parties will be running as scheduled.
Okay. Well, everybody's googling the books I worked on. So if you guys Google the books I worked on, the one that I wrote that I'm proud of is called Cheer Up Mouse, and I'm proud of it. It actually got picked up and translated into Mandarin and Japanese, and so those books are available in Japanese and in Mandarin as well, which was really cool for me. Actually, I think maybe like German and Italian too, but I'm not sure. That one did pretty well, and I'm proud of it. Okay. Bowser Bros says, you say you're a Mormon. Did you go on a mission? And if so, where did it take you and has it influenced your art? So yeah, actually.
Funny you mentioned that.
Yeah, so I was a missionary here in Japan, in West Tokyo and in Kanagawa Prefecture. And so that's where I learned.
How old were you at the time?
I was 19 to 21, which is kind of standard age. But yeah, so I just went to Japan, and it's kind of learn the language or die, it's sink or swim. They just throw you in there and like, hey, learn, go for it. And so I studied really hard, and I had a bunch of Japanese roommates, and they taught me a bunch, and that's how I learned the language. And I associated mostly with only Japanese people for 2 years. I did not associate with Westerners very much at all.
Foreigners.
Yeah. So that was kind of the genus, I guess, of my...
For those who are curious about it, when Jed's here talking to the staff here, he gets on very well. He can handle Japanese conversation with no problem at all. The staff, chatting with the staff, he's very capable. No problem at all.
Damn, man. I have limitations, but yeah.
Yeah, like none of us don't.
Dave and I were in a business meeting a couple mornings ago with our pulp supplier, our paper
whatever.
Paper supplier, possibly our pulp supplier someday. And he there was a lot of talk that we started talking about, business stuff, and I did my darndest.
Yeah.
Luckily, Mr. Mariki speaks English, so
to a degree, yeah.
He left all the hard business words. He said them in English, so that was nice of him.
The point being, Jed is totally capable in normal daily conversational Japanese. There's no problem at all.
Yeah. Inert Coctopus says, a friend of mine did his mission in Germany and had a pretty similar experience. He loves Germany and now is fairly fluent. Yeah, gosh, yeah, right?
Did you choose Japan? Or was it given to you?
You just kind of get it assigned to you. It's pretty nuts. It's pretty intense. I lucked out. Pretty hardcore. Alright, Josh Clare, I don't even know him. Okay, I'll have to look him up. Okay, let's see here. Let's go back to some questions here. Blah, 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 blah. Southern says, my point is that contemporary art is mostly rhetoric rather than actual ability or craftsmanship. I have to agree that some artists, that is their approach. And they're succeeding in ways that meet their goals, right? I think art is whatever you need it to be to get your goals, and if their goals are rhetoric more than craft, then they're doing it, right? I just don't think I'm that deep of a thinker, so I'm not gonna go try to focus.
Me too.
So, right, yeah.
For me, the decorative is the idea. The world needs beautiful decorative stuff,
I don't want the burden of having to be a sage. Right? Ugh. It's not even an option. Let's see here. Oh, Codename 3C, Just Say Boo. Yeah, Just Say Boo was a good book too. I was proud of that one. The word say boo, not like Cebu in the Philippines. Okay, let's see. Bowser Bros, I thought you were traveling. Are you not going to the mountains anymore? I went and I came back. I was gonna stay a third night, but the lady who was keeping my ryokan, the manager, she kind of like refused to board me for a third night because
get out of town.
She told me to leave before the typhoon hits because it was supposed to be a bad one, and so she kind of chased me out in a loving, wonderful way. She was a great lady, but she was like, "You need to go home." so I left.
It also could have been City Hall. City Hall told the people clear your guests out.
I did notice. I stayed at a couple different ryokan, like traditional inns along the route up in the mountains, and I noticed there was a very strong continuity between the ryokan, like the toiletries packages they give you were all the same. A lot of the menus were similar. I think they share recipes.
Absolutely.
So I think that they were working together to make it continuous.
And City Hall may have just simply told them all, clear your guests out.
Get them out.
Because we can deal with taking care of the people of the town, but we can't deal with 100 stranded tourists. So. And they will probably have an insurance policy against that, so she probably got her lost booking money back.
Oh, well, maybe. I don't know.
They're not beginners at this. They've been there. They have a long, long history of how to deal with these things.
Okay, Gosh says, Jed, have you done any woodblock carving? Does David ever draw or paint? I have never done any woodblock carving. A couple of years ago, I asked if Dave would teach me, and Dave said that...
Get out of town.
Dave said that I don't have the temperament for it.
I don't think that's what I said. I said, I don't want you mucking around in this. I'll do my job as well as I can, and you do your job as well as you do. We need you to design, and you need us to cut and print.
Yeah, and
don't waste time with this.
Don't waste time with it. Yeah, okay, maybe I'm...
Something like that.
I'm projecting. I think, in hindsight, I have realized that I don't have the temper for it. temperament for it. Look at what this guy does all day. I mean,
so it's a different personality. This is such an important point.
It is.
Such an important point. You know?
Well, so
the guy who can create something like you've done today is not the same kind of person who can sit and do 200 copies of it. You do your part. This is why the Japanese stuff became so beautiful over all those years, and why so many Westerners struggle with this.
So so the traditional method in the 1800s and the 1700s and the 1900s was separation of labor. So there was a designer and he designed, and then there was a carver and he carved.
Carving team.
Well, they were a team.
Yeah, whatever.
But they didn't take each other's jobs. The painter didn't carve or print. No. The carver didn't draw or print. Mm-hmm. The printer didn't draw or carve. Mm-hmm. And so they all had their own job, and
the result was magnificent.
They drilled down deep at the one thing that they could do and got good at it until they their craft just went through the roof. So those early 1900s prints with Hasui, with Yoshida, Bartlett, they were fabulous. They're amazing. It just got to the pinnacle of its evolution, I think. And then after the war, there was a movement. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dave. The Sosaku Hanga.
That's all through. That's after the Meiji. It came.
Oh, really?
Sosaku is where it split.
Sosaku means single creator, right?
Sosaku, creative drawing. Creation.
Oh, like sozo.
Sosaku Hanga is creative.
Okay.
Creative hanga.
Oh, okay. Sosaku hanga means creative hanga, which is usually a one-person endeavor. And if anybody here that is watching who is a Sosaku hanga artist, I don't mean to diss on you. It's a completely different approach. It usually results in craft that is not as sterling.
Lower technique but higher creative intensity.
Right. So you'll find a lot of Sosaku hanga that does. It deals with cubism, it deals with all kinds of stuff, and that's
social commentary, whatever.
A social commentary, yeah. Okay, so while Dave and I, portray video games, and that's it's that we're keeping in line with the tradition of ukiyo-e, yeah, echoing the legends and aesthetics of our time, right? And so that's why we've chosen to show contemporary game and anime and manga.
But we do it
culture.
In a division of labor way, which results in a very high quality of finished product. Quality of both drawing and of conception, of execution, and of everything. Division of labor. Okay, somebody asked me to go and get that image that we were talking about yesterday.
Yes.
Of the kind of work that I would like to try and do. And this is not the design, the print that I want to make. This is just a picture of a festival, and somewhere in there is the kind of thing that I would like to do.
Okay, am I hitting enter?
I guess so, whatever is in there.
Okay, so we're posting a link right now. It's
just a photograph. I didn't take the photograph. It's just a photograph I stole from a newspaper of a Japanese festival. And looking at it, there's no social commentary. I want to make a beautiful print of a beautiful object, and I want to go over the top to a level that people have not been able to do before because of economic factors.
I have to Google it now. I have to see it in context.
Sorry, okay.
/ temporary? / what?
And there are so many fabulous Japanese festivals all over the country, and they've been the topic of photographs and prints and stuff for years. So there's nothing original in that idea, but I want to just take the print to a level that was not possible for economic reasons. This kind of thing you and I have been struggling with, the kind of prints we would like to make together, but I say, Jed, we can't afford to do that. But when I'm making it by myself, it doesn't matter anymore.
Okay, so, wow, so many color blocks. Does Dave play games, or does he do carvings about games because they're popular? Django Boom Boom, yes. Dave does carvings about the games because...
That's my job. I'm hired to
do
this.
He's a craftsman. And I'm the one who came to him with the concept of let's do games. He doesn't know anything about games. I know about games to a limited degree. I mean, I'm not on top of every game. But I have lost an entire month of my life to Breath of the Wild this year. So... I mean, I play some games. Okay, can anyone repost the link? It was full screen and I can't see it. Or I was full screen. Okay. Thank you for Supercom. Thanks for reposting that. This is just wow. What is the percentage of this happening? Oh, what's the percentage?
What's the
probability of this happening in the near future?
If I get our business established well, if we get more carvers on board, which are here, if we get more printers on board, if our business starts to run more stably, Cameron does a good job managing. If I can step back bit by bit by bit, yeah, I'll get to this bench. I think the probability is very high. I mean, yes, it won't be tomorrow. It's very high. Our business is looking really, really good.
Cool.
We're very stable.
Well, and if you can get back to carving and printing, even though you are, as you claim, not the world's most elite printer, etc., you are the world's most invested printer in a certain thing when you decide to be, right? I mean, like, you decide to focus down on one thing, and then you...
Yes, because I'm totally free. All the other printers in town only do what the publishers send them, which means they only do what the publishers think are going to make it in the market, and have a creative idea for. No publisher in town ever thought of using pop culture until a year after you and created Ukiyo Heroes. Then a year later, it's Star Wars, it's Hatsune Miku, it's Doraemon. Every publisher in town saw the idea and jumped on and sent that work through to the printers. So the craftsmen, the printers and carvers, only do what the publishers send them.
Where the money goes.
And the publishers only have good ideas when they see good ideas. They're not creative at all. Those dudes just don't have any idea.
That sucks.
Doesn't matter. You blazed a new path and everybody in town jumped on it.
That is funny. It is kind of an honor to have copycats. It's kind of cool. It's neat.
But what they all copied was they copied the idea of using a popular culture, but they did it in a way that was totally non-ukiyo-e. They all went, without exception, they all went limited edition.
Yeah, right.
Which we will never, never, never do. We want, it sounds pretentious, art for the people, whatever, Limited edition, $500 each for those god-awful Star Wars. I better be careful I'm on here.
You guys just got behind the scenes David Bolt commentary on his competitor's work.
What do you think about that stuff? You're going to keep quiet.
I thought that the Vader one was actually, nicely done.
Acceptable.
Yeah, I did not like the Hoth scene one. It's not my favorite.
We don't. I'm sorry to push that. We don't.
Okay, that's fine. No, I mean, open forum. Say what we want. Damn, Dave's throwing some shade. Says, not to Naota. If I read your.
I got one. I was reading the chat after this was over. It's like it goes back 2-3 weeks ago, and someone said, "Oh my God, Dave dropped the F-bomb," and I thought, "What? I don't do that." And I went back. Look who's here! Look who's here!
You don't do that?
No, but I went back in the stream, and there I was, so whatever. So. Speak of whom, Cameron's here.
I love it.
Good morning.
I love it when Dave goes into cowboy mode and starts throwing the F-bomb.
I don't do that.
You do. You go into cowboy mode. It's hilarious.
Oh, I'm a nice guy. I'm a family.
No. You do it to be like. You do it to rouse the troops. You go John Wayne. It's freaking hilarious.
No, I mean, I think the original idea behind expletives was to add emphasis. Isn't that the idea? And when you do it in every sentence, it means nothing. But if you do it once a year, then people go, "Oh my God, he really means what he's talking about."
Yeah,
So,
I love Dave in John Wayne mode. I want to follow him into a battle. Okay, let's see what people say here. Higurashi Madness. Dave, if I go to Tokyo, can you teach me how to craft? I already started on my own how to carve. Oh, sorry. Can you teach me how to carve? I already started on my own. So Higurashi Madness, I'm going to answer for Dave. Is that okay? Or do you want to answer for Dave?
I'm not sure what you're going to say.
Dave,
answer politely.
Yeah, of course. That's why I'm going to answer.
Politely to me, I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm polite to everybody.
Okay.
Except to a woman on the train yesterday.
All right.
Awesome. Anyway, so Dave has put out a bunch of resources out there, and I think that with everything that is on his YouTube channel, also everything that you're seeing on this Twitch channel, it's 2 weeks of backlog of recordings that he's updating, almost every day, and then also he has, if you go to mokuhankan.com. His website, he has a...
That's on woodblock.com.
Oh, sorry, woodblock.com, which is easier to remember. He has an ebook that also goes into a lot of the specifics in a kind of a textbook way, just to kind of solidify the concepts for you. with all of those resources, you have more information available to you than Dave ever had when he started in the 1980s. And so he's a busy guy. He has to make his craft. He has to run a workshop, so he's not able to teach people individually. But that's why he puts everything online, so that you guys, if you can muster the self-starter, heart.
Yeah, that's it. So
you can do this. This is not an apprentice workshop. There are those here in Tokyo. They don't take foreigners so much, right? But I think that if this movement is going to be a movement that happens across the world, it's going to take people who utilize the materials that Dave has put online. There's a guy who showed up at Dave's studio about 2 years ago, and he learned through Dave online, showed up, and showed Dave some very, very, very
blew me out of the water.
Competent work, and now in the past 2 years has surpassed Dave in carving ability. Is this correct? Or will surpass Dave? I don't know. What do I think of that?
He's getting very good.
Okay, Dave says he's getting very good.
We hired him. He carved that block.
He's under 30 years old is the thing. He will surpass Dave. That's the thing. As long as he stays out of the front of moving buses and stuff. So he's very good, and the future looks bright.
Anyway, long story short about this, we can't teach people from the beginning.
Yeah.
If people can start climbing by themselves and get some stuff done, we will offer whatever advice and help we can.
Right. So there it is. If you show competence and if you show that you've done a lot of work on your own and you're a couple carvings in on your own, email Dave and he does get back to you at that point once you've shown some guts.
Some initiative. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guts perhaps too much more.
Okay. Some initiative.
So okay.
Okay. Okay, dear ASMR, Abby, running a business aside, does the idea of teaching people how to carve print interest you at all? We answered that question. It's all through online materials. I've been learning from the book. It's very good, says Loli Contra. Look at this, Dave. You've got all these people reading your material.
That's why it's out there.
Cameron, you smell good. Are you wearing cologne?
I don't remember. I think just deodorant.
Oh, okay.
It was the train.
It was the train. I smell good because of the train.
Oh, wait. ASMR sharpening? Do it, Dave.
Sharpening. I didn't make a big deal about it. The tip clipped off.
Oh. Does this do it?
Yes, me, this is like fingernails on a blackboard, but some people...
Triggers their brainwaves? It's crazy. Codename 3C, ASMR tingles.
Give me a break. I get to see some guy.
そこまで行くな。Tsubasa Akari, how has your trip been so far? It's been wonderful. I hiked about 5 miles along the Nakasendo up in the Japanese Alps in the middle of the rain. It was pouring rain the whole time, but it was absolutely glorious. And I just almost smiled my face in half for 5 miles straight of hiking. It's beautiful. And I saw 2 wild boar. I was at this cemetery at sunset, and I was a mile out from my hotel in the mountains, in the country. The sun went down, it was dark, and I heard this rustle in the woods. It was just barely like gloamy, like that twilight right before it gets totally dark. And I hear this rustle in the bushes at a graveyard. And I'm
Are you making this up?
No! I'm like freaking out. The sun has gone down. I'm at a graveyard. The hair on the back of my neck's already up a little bit. I'm like, don't piss off any Buddhist ghosts. And then...
And these 2 monsters
scream. And then I hear... I hear rustle, and then I look, and 2 wild boar thump across right through the middle of the graveyard and into the bushes on the other side. It was nuts. And then the hair on the back of my neck really went up, and then I looked ahead of me, and there was a mile of hiking left to go in the trees. So even there was no starlight, no bouncing light off the clouds. I was in the woods. It was a little bit spooky. So I clicked my walking stick down on the pavement every step as hard as I could to alert bears. because I hear they're up there in the mountains. That was a little bit nuts. But I saw a wild boar. That was cool. That was the first time. I've seen a monkey in Japan. That was cool. Okay. Better wild boars than some yokai. I agree.
That's what I was saying. How did you know? How did you know?
Well, I mean, yeah, Dave and I have been studying all these yokai this past year for the subscription series.
Studying them and making them.
And I've honestly, I was a little bit creeped out. I mean, I've seen some Kyosai images that put some images in my head.
I can't forget once you've seen them, yeah.
Kyosai has this one print of one sword fighter cutting off the face of another sword fighter, and his face is completely just flopped off his skull and is dangling by the skin like this. And, I imagined a ghost like that. I don't know, there's some imagery that, you don't want to have in your head when you're at a Japanese graveyard at sunset. But, to be fair, it was a really serene, beautiful thing. When you think about dead people are just people, it's not a big deal. If anything, ghosts are just they're just as annoying and obnoxious to deal with as living people, probably, right? Your racist grandfather becomes the ghost of your racist grandfather. Barker Art says, man, I hold my breath when Dave is carving, opposite from relaxation, but good for those who are not so high-strung.
It's completely relaxing for me.
A YouTube series about teaching woodblock carving would be epic. Supercom 2. Supercom 2, that is actually the summation of Dave's entire YouTube channel. If you, especially...
but I think what he means is real tutorial.
Right, tutorial type stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
If there were time, if there was another life, fine, I get the idea. It would be wonderful to do. Just life is life.
It's there. It's all there, though. I feel like it's there to put together, right?
Without being sarcastic about this, we have this thing that, teachers are people who sort of didn't make it in the real world doing the thing, so they ended up teaching. And I think a stage of life, there's a certain stage of life for me where the best way to use my time is to actually do the thing, make the prints. And then perhaps a bit later at the next stage of life when maybe my skills or Chonsan's coming up, doing it, And then maybe the most efficient way to use my time is to then start to do that, to talk about it, to teach it. So, but the way I feel myself right now is the best way to use my time mostly is to do the thing rather than specifically teach about it.
I agree. I think, there's a lot of people who are just tired of fighting out on the open market too. People who are really talented who are just like, I want to change a pace. And that's where the schools really get lucky when they nab some of those teachers, But, yeah. Okay, let's see. Rylock99, yikes, boar can be no jerk. No joke. Not sure how big they were. How big they are. They looked like they were a good 80 pounds or more each, which 80 pounds of wild boar probably counts for about 300 pounds of human being when you consider what animals do without inhibition, right? So I steered clear. I was a little bit spooked to see wild boar at dusk. I didn't want to get close to them because pigs can mess you up. Dear ASMR Abby, when Dave is carving, I also feel like I'm on the edge of my seat in a way. Yes, Supercom, Lolicontra says to Supercom 2, I think the Foxmoon videos are as close as we get to a tutorial for now, which I think so. Yeah, if you go back and watch the Foxmoon series, it really does play it out.
There's so much information in there, so much. Yeah. And then when we did on the Chibi Heroes, I did a step-by-step from your drawing over in Provo, right to me taking the finished prints to the post office. And there's a step-by-step. Every single step of the way was documented and shown. It's one of the videos about the Chibi Heroes. So yeah, the information is out there if you want to sit there and, dig it up. More than enough information. There's another thing too, is to ask for a tutorial is sort of to ask for a step-by-step, hold my hand and take me through this. And if that's the kind of person you are who really needs to have your hand held and taken through it, then maybe you're not going to be the best person, because a lot of this is, making up as you go along. But having the information out there to see, and then use your own, initiative to have a look.
This is an important thing. So even with with the woodblock printing, so Dave says that, you know, a lot of it has to be from initiative because no matter what happens, you're going to have bad things happen in the middle of production that you have to figure out an answer for.
Yes, exactly.
Even Dave now has hang-ups. I mean, if you watch the Mount Fuji or the Great Wave YouTube videos, Dave had a lot of obstacles that he had to figure out. You have to be a problem
solver. So, and if you're the kind of person that needs to be taught and told and handheld all the way through, sorry, this is the wrong game for you. You know, go ahead.
From an artistic perspective too, you ask any artist and you say, you know, where did you study? Where did you learn? A lot of them say, well, I studied here, but that was really just a resource that I used as I taught myself.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you just have to get up and crave doing the thing, you know? Or at least, even if you don't crave it, just force yourself to do it until you get good at it.
A ton of information is now out there, so more than enough to get going on.
When will be the... Okay, Zhao Malu says, when will be coming out a color book for the Ukiyo-e Heroes series? So yeah, for the Kickstarter campaign, I promised everybody a coloring book, and it's due in October, and October is drawing to a close. As you can see, I'm here and not at my house working on the coloring book, but I'll try to have it done before October 31st, so that I'm good on my word, you know, I keep my promise. So yeah, but before October 31st, there'll be a PDF download, and I'll put it on my website too, so that anybody in the future who wants it can just download it. And honestly, you people who are carving, if you wanted to get that
the coloring book is a book.
If you wanted to get that coloring book, I'm going to have it at 300 DPI. You can do exactly what Dave does, where he prints it out, puts it on a block, and starts carving it. You can use the coloring book PDF as carving practice if you're interested. Yeah. Okay, let's see.
What time is it, Jitsan?
9:06. When do you quit?
Okay, I'm good for a while.
Alright, let's see what else we got here. Next is Tremine. Yes, I need line art. Yeah. So feel free, once I get that PDF book out there, I'll announce it to everybody, and you can. I think I'll probably I'll make it like $10, which gives you access to a black and white line work of everything I've done for the main Heroes series. So there you go. Are there ever line quality issues with 300 DPI?
Yes, I need more. I told you, I need at least 600.
Dave wants 600,
at least.
I might put it out there at 600. That's a lot of DPI.
Well, I mean, it depends. If, you know how thin and how close people are zooming in. You know. But 300 is not enough. Sorry.
Well, the Contra says I bought the coloring book just for practice. Brilliant. Okay, I'll try to put it out at a higher DPI. I think 600 is a little bit.
Make two versions. Just make the daily use version at 300, and I've asked people to write in. That's not
cool. I could do that.
How are you producing it? Adobe Acrobat. What's that?
I'll do it in. Well, I'll get everything together in Photoshop, and then I'll put it together in Acrobat.
So this is not vector work. It's
It'll be pixel work.
Pixel work. Okay.
Yeah, vector work. It's hairy.
Pixel work. And what is your original? What level of DPI do you have at your original?
I think it's 300. Honestly, come in. For a lot of them. I mean, people can extrapolate. Figure it out.
If it's 300, when I'm doing this at this point, I can see too many dots.
Okay. Oh, this is funny. Codename 3C says a Dave and Jed print club. So it's like a book club, but instead of reading, everybody carves a design together for a month. That's interesting. Yeah. Interesting. Just a small little thing to show even if it's just like something this big to show like a concept, you know, like, hey, today as a club, we're going to work on hair. We're going to work on like flowing rope. We're going to work on texture. Anyway, interesting.
I think that makes sense in terms of brushing and drawing. I'm not sure.
Carving?
About this, I'm not sure. I think about it here for a while, but if you think about it, brushing, today we're going to draw leaves and talk about how the brush strokes flow for leaves and stuff like that. It makes sense. It's an immediate try it and test it and feedback. Yeah. With carving, there's no immediate trying and testing and feedback. So
Got it.
I'm not sure.
So Dave says that Yeah,
I'm not sure
carving
if
may
it's
not be the right medium for that. It might be more of a
because it's such a long
painting thing.
Yeah.
So the thing about painting and me teaching people how to do like this style is I am completely self-taught in this particular style, and honestly I'm just kind of trying to figure out as I go along. I mean, the traditional model was an apprentice would go to a designer's studio and copy their work until they work their way up to being able to actually
for years, literally.
yeah
for years.
to actually participate. So I mean, I put the Ukiyo-e Hero series together in a series of a couple months over a summer in 2012, and I for people who are really astute and know their stuff can see the difference. But you see we're trying here, and more and more I'm just trying to educate myself, but I don't feel like I'm at a place where I could be like, hey guys, here's how you do bamboo. Here's how you do, clothing, blah, blah, blah. I don't have like a step-by-step system for that yet. I really feel like I need to go further down the road before I feel worthy or even capable.
Did Alan do classical training with a studio somewhere? Alan West?
He did. He went to Gaidai. He went to Tokyo Art University, the big one. So yeah, he's kind of a deal.
He took a classical training.
But it's funny though because when he was there, he told me. So we know a guy named Alan West, and he's a Westerner, appropriately, and he went to Tokyo University to learn traditional Japanese painting, which is a painting system that uses animal-derived glues with pigment to produce the paints, as opposed to like Western painting where
Nihonga painting.
Yeah, it's called Nihonga painting, Japanese painting, and it was developed honestly in the early 1900s as like a cultural, almost as a political movement as much as it was an art movement, right? Because it was Japanese people trying to distinguish what makes their art Japanese, and so Nihonga was born as an official movement then. Anyway, this Alan West guy studied at the Tokyo University, and I don't know why I'm going off on this tangent. He was disappointed to see, just like I was actually, that a lot of the people in that painting program weren't interested in traditional depiction. They thought it was trite. They thought it was just decorative instead of, cerebral.
But it was understandable because they were trying to do art, what they had come to think of as the Western way, as being art with social commentary or meaning rather than decorative art.
Right, and so he was there in the 80s, I think, and so he was surrounded by a bunch of Japanese people trying to do Western contemporary art, which is more conceptual and commentary, and he wanted to do, beautiful, representative, pastoral Japanese decorative art. He's not trying to like push any social norms or question the establishment. He wants to just make beautiful stuff. And so he was really disappointed to find that he went to Japan and was in Japan, and there was nobody there who really was interested in engaging with him in that particular traditional style. Since then, he's found a market. He does beautiful back screen work
He's so good
for
He's so good at it.
Right. He does these beautiful gold leaf and painted screens for wealthy hotels and business boardrooms, public spaces and things like that.
Alan West, ALLAN West, one word, .co.jp or .jp. Can I?
Google. Just Google.
You're on the wrong screen here. You're on the wrong screen. It's not even.
I'm not. Alan West.
Oh, you're asking them to do it. You mean? Yeah.
Nihonga. Just Google Alan West.
Yeah. Or maybe put Yanaka in there or something.
Yanaka? Or is that
the place he lives? So
that and he's on the Lonely Planet guide.
Yeah, he's
and he keeps an open studio, so you can actually just walk over to his place.
Certain days a week.
Oh, certain days a week. There's guides. He's a really pleasant man. I really admire him a lot. He's a good guy. And he lives just a kilometer just north of here.
Just
right?
near Gaidai. So.
Yeah. He lives on the other side of Ueno Koen, on Ueno Park. He lives right by Ueno Park, on the back end of Ueno Park. So, beautiful neighborhood too. Yanaka. Okay, blah blah blah. So many tangents. Okay, hydro bondage. Is it difficult for you to monetize your creative? Is it difficult for you to monetize your creative output very much, or do you have strategies? Or so hydro bondage, I as an artist, I do have to juggle my desire to push my craft to just become better and show my grit and my iron through my work. Like, it's kind of a pride thing. Like, I want to make stuff that looks beautiful.
You've also got to feed 3 kids.
And I also have to feed 3 kids. 4 kids. About to be 4 kids.
I wasn't sure if that was public knowledge or not.
It's okay. After this, I'm getting it all pinched shut. It's done. It's getting over with. So yeah. So to answer your question, I'm always trying to balance like what fulfills me creatively versus what.
Cut to the chase. Are you a sellout or not?
I'm a guy who tries to float on the ocean of the market. You know, I mean, what can I say? I mean,
I'm laughing here.
Yeah.
To me, sellout means people want our stuff. That's what it's all about. That's
when I think of
sellout means when you make stuff that people want when you don't want to make it. That's a sellout.
Right,
but if you're enjoying making it, it has meaning for you as well as the market. There's no sellout. I'm laughing while I was saying that.
So I feel like I'm an artist who stays true to his integrity while also considering the market. If I were ever to consider myself a sellout, I think it would be when I start making like knickknacks that I think are ugly, that I'm not in control of the quality of, or the distribution of, or the marketing of. And
the definition of a sellout, of course.
Right,
yes,
like
yes. Just for money, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I would be like, oh.
So to answer the question, you think we're still in there where you're okay, you know? So you're making work that you're philosophically, happy with.
Also, we make work that is affordable to I think pretty average middle class people worldwide. That if it's kind of out of your range, with a little bit of saving up, you can still afford it. Whereas some artists, they go for the top. You know, they want to charge $30,000, $50,000 for a big old piece, and they only deal with elite people, and that just sounds miserable to me. It sounds like the worst. I don't want to have to like go to parties and schmooze rich people and have to.
We don't do limited editions.
We don't do limited editions. We do open edition. We keep it affordable for the masses, and the masses.
Whatever, normal people.
Normal people.
Whatever.
Yeah, well, we don't cater to hoidies and toidies.
Careful, some of them might be listening.
Oh, I mean, that's fine. Please buy all of our stuff, dear super rich people. Okay, let's see here. Dave, is the line nicked below the girl's left shoulder?
The line nicked below the girl's left shoulder. I'm not sure. We're talking reverse here, so I'm not sure which we mean.
Just look. Well, so you only got 2. So
talking about this one.
Is it that one?
No, it looks nicked, but what we have the black design paper.
It's just coming
lightly come off here, and it's come off in one place.
Okay.
So to an outside observer, it might look like there's a nick there.
Cool.
If that's the place you're referring to. What it is that's definitely too fat, but I can't trim it now until I've seen a test print. It needs trimming on the top, but I don't dare do that at this point. Was that the place? I don't know. Anything else?
Okay. Treadmill 2. Is he getting the place right? Is that the right place?
At the moment, I don't have any nicks here. If I had done, I would have opened up and talked about it, but I'm not aware of any places that this is nicked or broken. I think that's what we're talking about. You can see I can scrape off the...
Yeah, you're good. Just the crowdsourcing trying to look out for you.
Okay, no, good. So and it's been good too. I know when I'm doing those color separations, I've any number of times now, 3, 4, 5 times, people have found spots that.
Yeah, it's
that
good.
I didn't catch.
Yeah, it's Dave is distracted but also bolstered by
I'm very happy. Yeah, so.
Okay, so let's see. Inert Coctopus says, sounds like I do my job. I do something relatively odd in the fundraising world where there's no real training path, just learn by doing. I agree, yeah. Learn by doing. Yeah, that's the right website, guys. alanwest.jp. Kantar, congratulations on 4th child. Thanks, guys. The last known God, 4 kids. Good morning.
you know, is it a boy? Is it a girl? Do you know?
We don't know what the gender is. We don't know what the gender is.
Will you be knowing? Or...
Yeah, we'll know. I mean, you gotta buy all the crap beforehand, right? Like all the clothes and stuff. So there's that. Yeah. Okay. Cut to the chase. Are you a sellout or not?
Well, I hope you understand that they're laughing behind the conversation here. You know?
Oh, and now Barker Art is laughing at you. Quote, I don't dare to thin it now, then proceeds to thin it now.
Okay, because I could just see there was a little, what am I going to say? I'm not going to muck around with it too much, but I could see there was a little, there still is, you know. There's a little bit of a thin spot there.
Yeah, just wait for it, right?
It's like, you got a scab on your arm, you know. You're going to sort of, I shouldn't pick that, but you go ahead and, you know, you pick, you know, these things.
Whatever you do, don't pick your knives, don't pick your scabs with carving knives.
It's like, people are watching, it's funny. You know?
I don't even know what we were talking about before I went off on the Nihonga tangent. Coloring book, practice, quality, print club, montage. Okay, that's about it. We're good.
I got to think about getting to work here. You know, I've got to get going on that video editing to get out of here today. So
okay.
Wrap this up somewhere around 9:20 or 9:30. Is that about time? What time is it now, Jetson?
It's 9:20. Sorry.
About time to wrap it up. Okay, what we got, the schedule. Today it's Monday morning here in Tokyo. So actually this is going to be the last stream then for a while. This is Monday. I won't be doing one tonight because I'll be doing video editing, get that video up. So you can watch out for a new YouTube video somewhere within the next 12 hours. It's going up. Tomorrow, because it's Tuesday in Japan, there will be no stream on Tuesdays ever. You know, went Monday night for most Westerners, but Tuesday morning in Japan, no stream. I'll be going probably out to the Ome workshop, maybe, not quite sure. Then I'll be back here Wednesday morning, continuing on this. And yesterday, I think just at this sign-off time, we said, what did I do with my life? I did a one dog leg and one dog tail yesterday. That was yesterday's productivity. And today, what have we done? One more dog leg. I've done 3 dog legs and part of the face. So, what did you do in the war, Daddy? Well, I did 3 dog legs and
a face.
And a face.
And a face.
It's coming along.
So you're going to be back streaming Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning. This time slot, 2 days from now.
In the US, that's going to be Tuesday evening.
It's this same time
slot.
And
in Europe, that's going to be late Tuesday night.
No. Don't confuse me.
Yeah, no, it is. It's late Tuesday night. Yeah, so we'll be back Tuesday evening, U.S. time, late Tuesday night.
But you'll be gone by then, right? When are you flying out of here?
I leave on Wednesday.
Wednesday.
So I might be here. We'll see.
Hey, there we are. Thanks very much for watching, guys. We'll read through the chat. There's lots of chat, which I've missed, so I'll have a read through it later on when I get a bit of time. And,
okay. Guys, sorry that we couldn't answer these last questions. We'll get back to them later, okay?
Anything important or just too much?
Just some questions about lifestyle stuff. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
With video. Excuse me, Jake, can I borrow the computer here? Just shut it down. This was fun today. Thank you very much. It's fun having Jed here to do this. I can, I've been able, instead of 1 dog leg, I got 3 dog legs done, And so I can talk and feel less.
Did I increase productivity?
Yeah, so actually, that's what I said. It's increased productivity.
All right.
So whatever. We should ask him back again sometime.
I'll never be able to live here. I'm raising American children.
Thanks, gang. Talk to you later. Good night. This is the part where I get trapped. I've turned the camera off because that was the first step. But actually, I forgot the mic is still live. And these guys were chatting. They're waiting for me to forget that it's on and drop one of those. What do you call it? A hot mic moment or something. So be careful, Jad. Here we go. Shut this down. Thanks again, guys. Bye-bye.